Hey guys, my name is and this is Stout Gaming. So we are back in the GLDL this week, and we are going up against Chris Allen VGC. So Chris has a very interesting team. It is centered around Glastrier and has some decent pieces to support it. I especially like his additions of Colossal and Rotom. I think they add a lot to his team, and Rotom poses some issues for my team. Looking at the comp he has and seeing what I have, I imagine he leads a Rotom Qwilfish game 1, so Zapdos with Defiant is probably the way to go for my game 1 lead, because I don't really see how he efficiently deals with it. So of course I'm going to lead with the Indeedee Zapdos, get Azumarill and Arcanine in the back. I don't necessarily want to bring my Trick Room. He's not setting it, but he does have a Glastrier, which really I don't want to fight under Trick Room with my Trick Room mode, or out of Trick Room with my Trick Room mode, so we're going to ignore Glastrier possibilities for now and not set Trick Room. If he was going to set Trick Room, there is a chance I'd play it as a counter Trick Room option and stall out the Glastrier, but even then doesn't feel amazing. So we do get the Rotom Qwilfish lead, which means my Zapdos is going to go to +1. At +1 it will have some decent opportunities, to say the least, to deal some substantial damage. I don't necessarily want to max it right away here, because the damage output of the Rotom, if he gets rid of Indeedee, is pretty scary. So I'm just going to follow me and Thunderous Kick into the Rotom. At +1, it's got a decent chance to KO the Rotom unless the Rotom maxes. If the Rotom maxes, it'll Lightning in the Indeedee. Indeedee survives that, and I feel pretty good about my position moving forward if that's the case. So we do see that the Rotom is maxing, so this will not be a clean KO, but it will still have the potential to deal some damage. Not the potential, it will still deal some substantial damage. Yeah, it chunks it for half and lowers its defense. Like, Rotom can't survive another Zapdos attack. So now my thought process has to be whether or not he protects on the Rotom, and what's his kill condition on the Indeedee. That crit is a little annoying. I mean, it wasn't doing a lot of damage, but the speed is annoying on Zapdos because I don't believe I outspeed the Rotom anymore. So I have to decide what are my survive conditions, what are my win cons. Like, I don't think that this Qwilfish is able to take out Indeedee, so follow me is probably safest in case the Rotom attacks, and then I want to take out the Rotom because the Rotom can take out the Indeedee. But if the Rotom protects, I really want to take out the Qwilfish here. So I'm not going to call the Rotom protect this turn, because I don't think Qwilfish can take out the Indeedee from his position, so even if he does guard, like, this Qwilfish will leave the Indeedee alive for one more turn, and it will give me some opportunity for counterplay at least. But I was wrong about that because I got crit, so that happens from time to time. Like, a little bit of bad RNG here and there isn't gonna kill me. Like, would Stomping Tantrum have been nice that turn? Yes, but Max Arcanine with Solar Beam has a very good chance to pick up the KO on this Rotom based on the bulk that I'm assuming on how he took that +1 Thunderous Kick. So I'm not feeling bad here. I have to max the Arcanine, which I wasn't necessarily expecting this game, but it should have a decent late game into a lot of the things that he brought. If this Rotom goes down, the Qwilfish can't take out the Zapdos, and then I'll be set up for a decent 2v3 late game. So I'm not sure what he would have in the back here, but it's nothing really that wants to deal with what I've got out. Like, thinking about this, looking forward into the battle, maybe the most annoying thing is a Gliscod, and even that, like, obviously doesn't want to be in front of a Zapdos, but it does have some damage potential now that the Psychic terrain is gone. But I feel pretty good about this. Max Overgrow into Rotom, but it does not pick up the KO, and now I'm in danger. I am in a lot of danger now. The Rotom will heal itself a little bit with Figgy Berry, but it does confuse itself. Figgy Berry was not the right berry, apparently. The Arcanine speed being lowered is unfortunate. The Zapdos is already going to be too slow. So I know Zapdos goes down here, which is unfortunate, unless he hits himself in paralysis. That would be nice for me. But, so the low roll from the Arcanine does end up punishing me a little bit. And now I have to decide my best path moving forward, understanding that the Rotom is going to be the fastest thing on the battlefield. AV Azumarill should eat one attack, and then KO back with Play Rough, and then I have to hope that this Arcanine can 1v3, but I'm feeling considerably worse about this position. I think an Overgrown to the Qwilfish is probably the right play to give myself some grassy terrain, to heal with Arcanine a little bit, and to get rid of the electric terrain, but doubling into the Azumarill is really going to hurt, especially in the electric terrain. Thunderbolt comes on out, and Azu survives. But it won't survive anything else, and it's already slow. Qwilfish is very bulky, it takes nothing from that. So now I've just got to figure out, like, late game, what's the win con? Oh, and Play Rough misses. So yeah, that happens. So I don't have a late game win con anymore, because I can only guarantee the KO on one of these things, and he'll have 3 things in the back, and I don't like my odds when max ends. I'm gonna try and set some sun, see what I can do from there, but you'll see the Chansey comes out, starts minimizing, it has access to Body Slam, I get paralyzed off of a Thunderbolt. Lots of annoying things happen. Heat Wave misses the Qwilfish, so the end of this game doesn't go particularly well for me. I do successfully stall him out, or he successfully stalls me out a lot of the way, and then just eventually grinds me down with Qwilfish and Chansey. But I'm not going to subject myself to watching through and commentating every turn of that. Just know that I was trying to pick up information, no information was readily available, so he picked up the game. But I will be right back at you guys, covering some of Game 2. So, looking at game 2, I like my same team. I think RNG played a big factor in game 1, and assuming I mitigate it some and play probably a little bit better, I think the Ndidi Zapdos lead does a lot to his team, and I do want to max the Zapdos early to preserve it and deal damage. I think it's my best option against a lot of the things he brings, like for example, I don't want to lead Arcanine if he's got the Colossal. I don't want to lead a Azumarill if he's going to lead a Qwilfish. Like, Zapdos is the thing that I'm okay with leading against everything, even if it doesn't feel great against the Rotom. It still picks up a lot of KOs. The Azumarill and Arcanine I probably need to bring, but I do consider the Dhelmise Slowbro here as additional options against the Rotom. The Dhelmise is very good into the Rotom, obviously, but it just didn't quite feel right. So here, I'm feeling pretty good going into this game. I'd call myself a slight favorite in this match still at this point, based on our teams, even though he's up a game. So Rotom and Cole come out. I don't know exactly what that Cole's gonna do, but I don't want it to do it. So I'm gonna redirect whatever attack comes out into the Ndidi, and I'm just going to kill the Cole with Max Quake. If it's a bulky Cole and he doesn't hit it with a water type move for whatever reason, it can live this, and then a double up into the Ndidi to kill it while setting Volcalith, and then maybe protect Cole, get something in that can set it next turn. Like, that's something I'm vaguely worried about, but if that happens, I would max Airstream the Rotom slot, which is it's a weird thing to say, but that's what I would do at that point, because he would be switching in Golisopod, would be my primary guess to activate the Cole. I don't know if the Qwilfish has access to Surf in this matchup, so if he's trying to activate the Cole, but all of that is moot because the Rotom is what maxes here. So I'm just going to follow me, and this Cole's dead. There's no way unless he's Sash Cole for whatever reason. And I'll take myself up to +1 defense, which is going to be nice against this Rotom on the Ndidi and the Zapdos. So, feeling considerably better about my position this game. I can attack around the Rotom and beat it late game pretty easily, because at +1 it's going to not be a 2-shot into the Ndidi. And I think this is okay for me at this point. So what he sends out next is the Glastrier, which I know I do not want to let launch an attack, even if it's not maxed, so that's going to be my next target. Now, I am worried about Sash Glastrier, which seems weird, or is it Choppleberry? The Anti-Fighting Berry Glastrier. Both of those worry me some, so follow me so I don't just have Zapdos eat an Icicle Crash, because that would not end well for me. And Max Knuckle comes out, no berry, so this Glastrier is going to go down. So at this point, I'm feeling very, very safe. There isn't a considerable amount that he can do to me. Like, he can kill the Rotom next turn. What I expect to happen here, like, so my thought process here, this Qwilfish using Icy Wind is his win con, because if he can lower the Zapdos's speed and get multiple attacks into it with the Rotom, that's how he wins. So I think he protects Rotom here, and then attacks the Indeedee to try and take it out, and then Icy wins. But so I'm protecting Indeedee here, which seems like a decent play, and then Max Quaking here, because even if he attacks into the Zapdos at this point, I'm going to be at +2 special defense. There's no way he can take me out. Well, there's one way he can take me out, and that's if he gets another super important crit. Like, that's the only way he takes me out here, and then otherwise I just kill it next turn. So he crits me, obviously. I still think I have a decent late game because the Indeedee's alive, but oh boy is that one a bit more annoying. It's not like I can max and just start launching solar beams. I know it has access to protect, so I can't just raw solar beam it. So I've got to rely on this Azumarill connecting on 2 play roughs, because I eat at least 1 Thunderbolt on the Azumarill, so I can follow me away 1 electric attack and play rough, and then I'll need to connect on the next one. So I've got an 81% chance to win this game, assuming the damage rolls work the way I think they will. So I follow me, the Rotom Thunderbolts, and my math is better now, because I will have 2 opportunities to play rough, assuming he doesn't crit. So I would have to miss both of them, which is a 1% chance, or we'd have to get a crit, which is a 6.3% chance. They're not independent of each other, so it's just over 7% chance he's able to take this out, and even then, I think the late game Arcanine can actually do enough with Heat Wave to take him out from this position, but it doesn't matter because the play rough connects. So yeah, after that we are moving on to game 3. So looking at game 3, I'm gonna go with the same team. Like, I think it's better than what he has to bring. I think Zapdos hits literally everything really hard, even the Rotom, which it doesn't hit super effectively. It still hits hard enough, and I can attack around the Rotom and set up a decent late game if I need to. But I do expect the Rotom to come again. I don't expect that Coal to come again. I'm not really sure what I expect in the lead here. Probably Rotom. And something. But, what he actually leads is much more interesting than that. He sends out the Glastrier and the Chansey, which he's just going to max this Glastrier in my face with no support. Like, he's going to try to do to me what I am a proponent of doing to other people, and I'm upset about it. So here, I think the play is to actually go after the Chansey with my Max Knuckle, because that should take out the Chansey, give me +1, and then with Helping Hand, it will have the opportunity to take out this Glastrier. If it's at +1. At neutral, it doesn't kill the Glastrier if the Glastrier maxes, and I don't want to just give him a free weakness policy boost either, because, I don't know, just giving Glastrier a weakness policy feels bad to me. So his play here, he doesn't know that I'm Focus Sash yet, which is a benefit for me, because if he goes for, I mean, he's got a Max Hailstorm. Like, I don't know what else the Glastrier has, but Max Hailstorm is probably the move into, well, I think he clicks it into Zapdos, but expects it to go into Indeedee. But Follow Me comes out, I'm feeling decent about this. This Chansey's gonna die. And then the chance uses Ally Switch. I think this is better for me, because I will get a +1. This Glastrier is now in range of it will die now that I'm at +1 to another one. This Chansey is definitely in range. And Max Darkness comes out, which will not KO the NDD because of the Focus Sash. So now that Focus Sash is keeping the NDD alive, and we've got a couple Defiant boosts coming out of the Zapdos, it's at -1 special defense. Like, I'm feeling much better now. I think what I try to take out is the Glastrier. Don't let it set anything stupid. Maybe hitting into the Chansey is actually the play here, but I definitely follow me in case he ally switches again, because I can't leave this Glastrier alive to attack into. So my thought process here is, if he ally switches, this takes out the Chansey, which is fine. But the worst case scenario is this Chansey being faster than Glastrier and body slamming, and then the Glastrier being left alive. So I have to target the Glastrier here, because if I don't and he ally switches and he doesn't ally switch, he'd be able to potentially take out the NDD and get an attack off with Glastrier if I target the Chansey. Like, there's not a world where Chansey's Focus Sash, but in the world where Chansey's Focus Sash, that's just the most guaranteed win. Chansey picks up a KO. Good for Chansey. More like Chansey, am I right? Please boo me in the comment section. That was very bad. Okay, so here I'm feeling decent about the various options. This is my last turn of a guarantee hit from Max, so my first thought is I don't want to let this Chansey minimize, but I also am nervous if Rotom is in the back and Icy Wind. In retrospect, the play here is to kill this Qwilfish 100% of the time, and to just let the Chansey do its stuff, and then eventually grind it down with my 3 Pokemon. Something will hit it eventually that will kill it, because it's not killing the Zapdos, even if it starts substantially minimizing. But I don't know, the Chansey late game was not something I wanted to deal with, so I was accepting the fact that Icy Wind here, if Rotom is in the back, is going to lead me to some questions, but they're questions that I think I successfully answer. So Zapdos is going to be at -1 speed and -1 special defense. So a Rotom here I probably need to switch out of with the Zapdos and start chipping with Heat Wave off of Arcanine. There's also a small argument for Solar Beaming off of Arcanine and then going for Heat Waves in the future. Just to try to allow a slightly cleaner attack, and that is what I go for, but that is again not the best move in this late game. I played this late game very poorly. Like, he sent me the GG 3 turns ago, and I'm doing my best to show why you don't send GGs early, because I am absolutely throwing right now. But the Azumarill switch is correct, but Heat Wave is the play here. Even arguably a Will-O-Wisp. So Icy Wind comes out. Speed gets dropped again. So I charged Solar Beam. I really should have Heat Waved there. There's really no excuse for not. Because now I know this Rotom has Protect. He has to Protect here. And I'm still nervous enough that I want to play rough the Rotom for whatever reason. So obviously that was incorrect. I should have, I don't know, maybe Steel Rollered into the Qwilfish, something into the Qwilfish. Because now this Rotom eats 2 things into Protect, and Azumarill's going to die next turn, and I really have to rely on Zapdos doing enough that the Heat Wave chip will take down the Rotom, and then that this burned Qwilfish is not going to be enough to 1v1 this Arcanine, which is not a proposition that I wanted. Especially if he's going to be able to crit me like that. So, yeah, there are definitely some interesting decisions to make here. Heat Wave, Burn Chip. This Rotom is like right on the borderline of just the KO for being picked up with Thunderous Kick. And because of that, I think he protects the Rotom here, and then tries to lower Zapdos' speed, and then wins that way. Like, that's a clean win for him. Unless this Qwilfish goes down this turn, that's a clean win for him. Zapdos probably goes down if it gets hit with something this turn. So it's basically, do I think Thunderbolt is going to kill this Zapdos, or do I think this Qwilfish, or do I think it's going to protect, and then this Qwilfish is going to lower the speed, and then Thunderbolt will kill the Zapdos? And I'm playing into the nature that he's been showing all game, and he does not protect, and I am incredibly nervous now, because if Thunderbolt takes this out, I am not a fan of my odds. So, yes, I've completely thrown this game, but he Hydro Pumps and misses into the Arcanine. I think the play on his end is probably Thunderbolt there, but now I get a single target Heat Wave, it crits, which doesn't really matter, and Zapdos will be able to clean up this game. So yeah, good games to Chris. It was a really fun, hard-fought set, but I will see you guys next time. And for those of you that don't know, I've recently started streaming on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/stoutgame, STOUTGAME. So maybe I'll see you guys around there. But until then, bye.